Hey, Intuitive Soul Tribe. Mel, Intuitive Soul Coach here, excited to bring to you today's collective reading where we dive into messages from your loved ones who've crossed over, your ancestors, and your spirit guide. So welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, welcome, collective. This is going to be a very intense reading. Now, as I was opening up, I was connecting to Spirit, as I always do right before these readings, and I said, all right, Spirit, what do we need to talk about today? What does our Intuitive Soul Tribe need to know for their highest good? And immediately, I was guided to open up my spiritual abilities to the max, and immediately I was flooded with information, and I had to grab a piece of paper and I couldn't stop writing, right? Automatic writing. The messages were coming in so quick I could barely keep up. So there's a lot of messages. You may want to grab a tissue. You may want to pause. You may want to grab a nice warm beverage and cozy up in a nice warm blanket for this one. Maybe even save it and come back to it because there's a lot here. And right away, I'm going to let you know that I feel the energy of your loved ones coming through, and it's such an intense feeling that I want you to know that we are all connected. We are all intertwined. So again, today, messages from your loved ones in spirit. The names that came through. There's a few names. Of course, if your name of your person does not show up, it doesn't mean that there's not a message here for you. Chances are, if you're listening, there could be a piece of information that is important to your growth, your healing, and your evolution. Jacobson or Jacob. That could be a significant name. Britain, Brittany, or maybe Great Britain. That's significant. I heard Frank, and then I heard Anne after that. So Frank could be significant, or Anne, or for those of you that remember Anne Frank growing up, right? The little stickers and the colorful unicorns and the pets. Maybe some of you, there is a significance with Anne Frank, okay, her work. Wanda came up. Wanda, so maybe that's Luwanda or just Wanda. Marie was another name. Maybe it's a mother's name. It could be a middle name. Jackson was another name. Sammy and Grace. Those are the names that came through, at least the ones that I was able to catch quick enough on paper. Now, I'm going to pull some cards here, of course, but I am going to give you the messages that came through that I did write down. So right away, I'm proud of you for breaking the cycle. I'm proud of you for breaking the cycle. And interestingly enough, you have a mother's love coming in here. So for some of you, that may mean that you broke a generational cycle that may have been part of your mother's side of the bloodline. This could be something within your own parenting. This could be healing. So I'm proud of you for breaking the cycle. And you also have choices showing up here because you had a choice to break this cycle. But I feel like you chose to incarnate into this lifetime in this family line, this bloodline. Perhaps it's a relationship cycle that stems from family, but I feel like you chose the right choice regardless of how difficult it was. So that's a message coming in, possibly from a mother. I also heard, I loved you like a daughter, or I loved you like my own child. For some of you, maybe you were raised by grandparents. There could have been adoption. There may have been someone that took you under their wing when maybe they didn't have to. Maybe they were forced to in a way, not that they didn't want to, but perhaps there was some sort of loss that you then went to go live with someone else. Maybe you were the one that loved someone like a daughter and they had crossed over. Okay, please take it as it resonates. You can heal what I couldn't. You can heal what I couldn't. So that could be physical. It could be emotional. It could be spiritual. And that kind of goes with the breaking the cycle. For some of you, you may be able to heal. And I also get something along the lines of traditional. It's like a medical questionnaire when you go into the doctors and you say, what's the family? Does this run in the family? Like diabetes or cancer or something of that nature, collective. I feel like you may be able to heal something that may run in the family line, or there it is, ancestral wisdom. Right? This could be something that many of your ancestors had carried, but I feel like you're able to heal this. And again, whether it's breaking the cycle, whether it's being able to heal some sort of physical ailment, perhaps you've also come from a line of very psychic women as well. I feel like you're able to heal the pieces that may have been a little bit shattered. Okay. And we'll take a look at these cards that are coming out specifically, but I want to be sure to give you the messages that came through. Congratulations. This is a milestone. They showed me balloons. They showed me ribbons as well. So it could be a major milestone that you've hit, Soul Tribe, whether it was marriage, someone graduated. This could be a 50th, a 60th, or a milestone birthday. I feel like this is some sort of celebratory moment, even a baptism. Congratulations. And I feel like your loved ones in spirit, or your ancestors, are acknowledging this celebration. Okay. That was a very exciting energy. And I actually heard almost like a crescendo, more than one person cheering and congratulating. So I feel like this was communal, or there was a gathering of people, or it could even have been the birth of a child or a grandchild as well. So celebratory energy. Now I also heard family heirloom, and then I got a yes. So perhaps there's a question in the family about an heirloom. Maybe this is a piece of jewelry. They also showed me a jewelry box or an item that may have been hidden or put away, or maybe it was a piece that you used to wear, but you haven't seen it for quite some time. And then recently you've come into contact with it. Maybe you've dreamt about it. Maybe you've seen it, or maybe you were cleaning out, an old drawer or a jewelry box or something of that nature, and you've run across some sort of family heirloom. Now, it doesn't have to be jewelry. It can be anything, but the message I got with this heirloom was yes. All right, what else do we have here? Spread my ashes where I loved to be. Spread my ashes where I love to be. And look at that. You actually have the reach out here on the heart. Some of you may have been thinking about where to spread ashes, or where to lay to rest in some way, shape, or form. But it's almost like I feel nature. Some of you may have had ancestors or loved ones who've loved the water, a creek, or a special spot, maybe in the mountains, or again, by a special tree. Lay my ashes where I loved, okay, or where I love to be, or spread my ashes where I love to be. So that one was a beautiful message, because I feel like someone's been wavering back and forth. And this is so interesting because choice is the very first card out here. All right, we have, what else? Dog barking. I heard a dog barking, and then they're with me. So this could be a loved one who had a dog. Maybe the dog was left with you, or perhaps the dog was really missing the family member or loved one who's crossed over, or maybe the dog is crossed over and the family member, and they're together. I just heard the dog bark, and then they're with me. So please take that as it resonates. I also heard, thank you for taking care of me when I couldn't. And I was getting more end of life. So some of you may have taken care of a loved one at the end of their life. Could be a mother energy here as well. That's what we see coming up. But you do have ancestral. So it could be anyone in the family. It could be, I'm also hearing widowed. So some of you may have taken care of a lover as well, or a husband or a wife. Okay, I also get here nurses. Like some of you, maybe you were a nurse, or maybe you were a hospice nurse, or maybe that was the role that you played towards end of life. Okay, because I'm getting, thank you for taking care of me. And regardless of how old this person was, I feel that coming in quite strongly. There is a deep sense of gratitude. Let's see, I could hear I couldn't hear, but I knew you were there. And they were pointing to the ears. So someone could have been wearing hearing aids. Someone may have been deaf, or someone may have been, it felt like they were completely checked out, maybe Alzheimer's, or maybe they were in a coma or something of that nature, but they knew you were there, okay, spiritually, energetically, but something with the ears. And I was getting, again, hearing aids, or just kind of in the mind, the brain, checked out. It's like they weren't present, but energetically they knew you were there. All right, there's a lot of messages here, so bear with me. I'm trying to see how what's coming through kind of aligns, if anything jumps out as well. But like I said, a lot. So if you guys like these messages, if they resonate with you, if you want me to continue doing these, possibly monthly, because I know you all have loved ones in spirit, you have ancestors, your spirit guides, which will connect. A lot of this is mediumship with loved ones here, but there could also be some messages from your spirit guides that could bring insightful information for you as well. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. Release the guilt. And it kind of goes with what I'm getting here with self-sabotage. There's something with a deep emotion that someone is hanging on to, that it's killing them in a way. It literally feels like it's a weight that someone feels so intensely. It wasn't your fault. Release the guilt. That was a big one that came through, and I was hoping I wouldn't be able to, that I could keep the emotion piece out of it, but it's so strong, collective, whoever this is. Don't self-sabotage your happiness because of this. It wasn't your fault. It was part of the journey, part of the lesson. When you learn to get out of our own way, right, there is going to be no stopping you. And that's what this person, this energy or spirit, your spirit guides want you to know. Okay, even if this isn't a loved one who's crossed over, something here, it wasn't your fault. Release the guilt. Most of the time, it's not others who prevent you from achieving your true goals. It's that inner voice that derails those carefully woven plans. That was a big one. Okay, big one here. Because some of you have went into hibernation with the soul solitude here. And it says your soul does need attention, okay? There are moments when it's important to get away, not just from the noise of the outside world, but to find a place where your soul can experience peace and quiet. Message here from your guides for some of you. If you've been overworking, overthinking, ignoring the signs of rest, and that's also a message that came through. I'll see if I can find it here. Get it checked out was one of the messages that came through. It could be a car. It could be a health issue. If something feels off, get it checked out. And I feel like there is a sense of urgency here as well, because you may be in overdrive, or you may be like the Energizer Bunny, where you're having a difficult time slowing down the mind, slowing down the body. There's something here that once you slow down, there may be a fear. Well, then I'm going to feel it. Then it's going to come in, right? Then I'm going to have to deal with something that I really don't want to deal with. Get it checked out was a message coming in from someone's loved one. And it was very parental, like you would say to your child. If your child, your adult child came to tell you that they have something weird happening in their body, or they were bleeding from areas they shouldn't be bleeding, immediately you would say, get that checked out. That's not okay. I will drive you, right? So there's something of immediate attention. And I feel like it's either in the body, it's in a vehicle. If something is giving you a warning, pay attention, okay? This is a time to pause, a time to reflect, and a time for you. And you can see that it's kind of aligned right here in the heart center as well. So Spirit wants you to open up to this. Some of you may have completely shut down the heart chakra. The smell was real, and I had to chuckle because it's like some sort of humor in that. So I don't know if it was a smelly type of smell, you know what I mean? Maybe someone had a little bit of flatulence, but I feel like the smell, maybe it was tobacco, maybe it was grandma's perfume, maybe it was, I'm just getting someone smelled something that reminded them or took them back to a memory, back to a loved one who's crossed over. Maybe it was a dog that used to have a little bit of gas, right? And you're like, whoa, where did that come from? That dog's crossed over. But I feel like the smell was real. So I had to chuckle with that one because it was a little bit funny. All right, what else do we have here? Reach out. Okay, the flickering was us trying to get your attention. And then we have reach out here as well. So some of you, it's lights flickering, or something may have been flickering, or it may have been like off and on of some sort. I feel like it could even be something electrical. If it wasn't a light bulb, I guess I don't know what else could be flickering. That's not, maybe a screen, okay? Maybe your screen on your phone started to do like a weird flicker before it turned off, or something of that nature. We know you're reaching out to us right now for guidance, for help in a specific situation. Support is as much about the physical act of accepting it as it is about the emotional benefits of learning that it's okay to accept it as well. Because I feel like you're receiving some signs, but sometimes we ask and then it's like we put up a little bit of a brick wall and we don't even realize that we are getting signs and messages, knowing that we're letting us know we're not alone. And you may be saying, well, Melissa, how does that light flickering help me with some sort of answer? Because that can be a reminder for you to pay attention to your thoughts at that moment. It could be a reminder that helps you. You know, if maybe you were just thinking about a person and then that starts flickering, maybe you were thinking about taking action, but maybe the wounded warrior part of you said, I don't want to do that because then I'm going to have to deal with it, or it's too painful, or whatever reason, right? I feel like they're trying to get your attention as well. Okay, so a beautiful example of this, I'll just share a little bit. I received a clear as day message from my grandmother, who's been crossed over for many, many years since I was a young girl. And she came through over the summer with a very clear, precise message: call your mother. And, you know, if I wasn't to pay attention, I probably wouldn't have called my mother, and things have been completely 180 since that moment. So sometimes you're going to receive a message through dreams. You're going to receive a clear, divine message from someone, a clear knowing, inner knowing, or you're going to get that urge. Trust it. Okay, trust it. Let's see. I let you know shortly after that I was okay. So maybe it was a bird, maybe it was a dream, maybe there was some sort of message or communication that came through, okay? And I almost get with serenity here as well. It could have been through water, which was very interesting. I have to bring this up because these notes, one of the notes actually fell in water. So there's something here with paper in water, saturation. Maybe there could have been something that was soiled. I mean, that's a little bit TMI, but if it resonates, it resonates. Someone may have soiled themselves, or there could have been something with incontinence, maybe depends, something of that nature as well. Okay. And I feel like maybe through water, through a funny joke or a song. Okay, they're giving me musical notes. So some of you heard a song afterwards that was a clear message from a loved one, but I let you know shortly after that I was okay. So that's confirmation that they were there for you to kind of give you that peace, that serenity here, okay? Let's see. Your shooting star will manifest. Now, I love this message here because to me it means some of you either actually seen a shooting star and you wished upon a star, or for some of you, that's also tarot energy of the star. The star comes after the tower. So for those of you that have had a tower, there's going to be a renewed sense of hope. And I feel like there's something manifesting for the better. Okay. What else do we have here? We do have gratitude. And that's part of the shooting star, I feel, as well. And also the next message was, I like him. So someone likes a new partner, or someone likes maybe a new pet that you received, but I got him. I like him. So it almost felt like a mother energy, maybe, or a father saying, I like him, I approve of him. Or if it is a pet, like, I like him. I just thought that was nice. That was sweet. It could be maybe you're getting married and that person would have typically walked you down the aisle. Maybe it's a father, right? I like you. That could be permission. Not that you need permission, but I feel some of you need to hear that. I like him. Life is one big continuous circle of giving and receiving energy. Be thankful for who and what's in your life instead of complaining about what we don't have, right? If we focus on gratitude, we'll start to attract prosperity and abundance. Okay, so gratitude. Someone wants you to practice gratitude. I feel like someone does their prayers, someone writes in a gratitude journal. Your spirit guides are telling you here that changing and shifting that mindset is going to do you a world of difference. So if you haven't incorporated that, but you've been feeling a little bit like the glass is half empty, you may want to incorporate more gratitude. I feel like that's a message from your guides. It almost tastes as good as mine. And then I heard a chuckle and then almost with like a wink face, someone winking. So maybe you've tried to mimic grandma's recipe or mom's recipe, or there's something in the family, right? And even though maybe you do a wonderful job, it's almost like a running joke in the family. Maybe it's lefse, or maybe it's some sort of cookies, or, you know, pancakes, or something that, again, is a recipe. And I also seen an actual recipe card with splatter on it. So I feel like it's well used. It may be, again, ancestral, something that's passed down. We are your ancestors and we love you. We walk the earth many years before you, and we ask you at this poignant time to learn and grow from our past experiences. You are our legacy, and we'll keep on helping you as we continue to evolve here in the spirit world. Beautiful energy here. They also showed me a wind up, like baseball wind up throwing. They also showed me a baseball cap. So someone may have really been into baseball. Maybe it's about a throwing arm. Maybe someone is a professional ball player or went to a professional game. Maybe they were a coach or a little league, something of that nature. I was just getting very masculine energy and sports, as well as that baseball cap. It's like it was their favorite cap. Maybe you still have that baseball cap as well. All right, what do we have? We have take a moment. And the message, there's just a couple last messages here. My loss wasn't for nothing, and no, I didn't suffer. And I almost got a quick energy. So I don't know if these three messages are together, because it was my loss wasn't for nothing. So it almost makes me feel like someone may have ended their lives, chose to exit maybe before the time of full maturity or capacity, right? Instead of 80 years old, 90 years old, someone may have chose to exit earlier. And I didn't suffer. So this, I feel like something was quick. And the final message that I received was, thank you for loving me when I couldn't love myself. Okay. Thank you for loving me when I couldn't love. Whew. Another one where it's deep here. So I feel like those ones that may have felt lack of closure, or you felt stuck wondering the why. Okay. I also get part of the messages and the notes that were submerged in water. Okay. This could actually be someone may have been submerged in water. There could have been some sort of accident while it was raining as well, because water is, there could have been a drowning. There's some sort of significance around water. And I thank you for loving me when I couldn't love myself. So I don't know if those are tied, but I have to mention them. And it says, now is not the time to rush into a decision that you're about to make. And this is separate, right? We're getting many different messages coming in here. Please take it as it resonates for you. And I just heard Judy. Now is not the time to rush into any decisions, right? Because we do have choices here. So some of you are teetering on the edge of a choice. Try not to make a choice if your emotions are running high, okay? Before this important decision is made, take a moment and pause. Quiet your mind so that you can ask your soul for guidance before you act, before you move forward. Because I feel like there will be a door of opportunity here, a window of opportunity, and your guides are letting you know that this opportunity isn't going to pass you by, but don't rush impulsively into it, because we want to bridge that gap of closure, of, you know, knowing that something is best for you, because we don't want you to rush into something quickly and then kind of go back over that bridge and say, well, was this too quick, right? Instead, if you consciously make a decision, you think things through logically, emotionally, spiritually, and then you cross this bridge into this new opportunity, it's like then you won't have to kind of go back over and second guess. So for some of you, there is going to be a choice here. Whew, I know that was a lot of messages and they still kept coming in here, but I kind of had to say, okay, we're going to have to take it to another reading. So again, if you like these messages, or if there was anything that resonates, or if you do want to hear from your loved one as well, drop a comment, put your energy out there. You don't have to let me know who it is, what happens. Like I always say, especially even in my personal readings, the less I know right away, the better, because then it can be that clear channel. But of course, if there are specific questions, we can tune into those as well. You can book a personal reading. And they're saying here, one last final outcome here. One last final outcome or message from your spirit guides. What do your spirit guides want you to focus on for the upcoming? There's that caregiver energy. Okay, so remember in the beginning, we talked about someone being a caregiver. I feel like a lot of you that are tuned in, that are still watching, you're either a light worker, you're a shaman, you're a healer, a Reiki practitioner. Maybe you're in the medical profession. You could be a nurse, a CNA, a doctor, a spiritual coach, a leader, a mentor. You're here to help heal and uplift the vibration of the planet. But you're here and you're able to do that because you yourself have known hurt. You yourself have seen and felt grief. We are with you, and Spirit has its own way of recognizing the care and love that you provide to others, especially at the end of their lives. Some of you could be end of life caregivers. Some of you could be doulas, midwives. You may work with those that are, you know, terminally ill as well, or you have personally or professionally. Caregivers often focus all their attention on their loved ones, and they often neglect their own concerns and well-being in the process. So your guides want you to know that you can still fulfill your mission here on earth as a starseed, as a light worker, as a healer, as, you know, a nurturer, as a parent, whatever healing or caregiving roles that you have, collective, you can still do that, but not at the expense of your own health. And that's what some of you really need to focus on in 2024, is finding that balance. Okay, there's been lessons for you around balance. There's been lessons around boundaries. Some of you, maybe you've been shut down in the heart chakra. Maybe some of you felt like you were wide open and you were empathic and taking on every little thing. So how can you best create balance, especially when you are a caregiver and a healer, right? And there are so many different ways to do this. That can be for another reading. You can do your research on that. There's protection ways. There's just a lot that you can do to help you step into your power more and feel more confident about your gifts. I'm also getting that for some of you, gifts. It could be that you don't trust your healing abilities, you don't trust your intuition, that you don't believe you're psychic or a medium, or the information that comes through, you're second guessing it, you're filtering it out with your own experiences, and you're saying, well, I can't deliver that message because it's not correct, or it's not, Your ancestors don't want you to do that. Remember, this could be generational for some of you. If your mother was psychic, or your grandmother, or if you have come from a long history of healers, or maybe you've come from a long history of family members that were or felt broken, or they needed healing themselves. Remember, collective, you may be the one breaking the cycle, but we also tend to look at the challenges that our ancestors brought, but can we also focus on the good that they brought, the teachings, the love, the lessons, the psychic awareness, all of it, right? Can we look at it as a whole instead of just pinpointing the good and the bad and choosing a side, right? We're being asked to raise our awareness, raise our attention to the holistic piece, holistic approach to relationships, to life, to health, to everything. Okay, so beautiful messages today. If you guys like this, please hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps get the divine channeled messages out there to those that need it most. Whew, this was a beautiful one today, and I really love the energy and the outpour. And even though some of these messages were a little intense, I hope that you could find solace, find peace, find love, because remember, I'm just the channel, I'm just the tool, and it's your soul's journey. And I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you again, Collective, for tuning in. Again, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, share, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. It also helps me connect better with your energy. So perhaps next time you'll receive a message that resonates with you even more. Lots of love, Collective. Till next time.